What's up, guys? It's me, Tony G, coming to you from Live Hotel and Casino. This is episode 88 of my vlog. In this episode, this could be a dual episode. I'm going to enter into the satellite tournament for the Live 500, and then maybe even later tonight get into another double cream chip bounty tournament. We'll see how it goes. I hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go. Alright, do me a favor. If this happens to be your first time here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It does help the channel out a lot. For my returning subscribers, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you coming back. I hope you guys really enjoy this episode. Let's get into it. Okay, let me start out by saying the satellite did not go very well, so there are only going to be a couple hands from that. So, yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, in one of the first hands, I have Ace of Spades, the Jack of Hearts. I am in the big blind. Blinds are 100, 200, and the under the gun raises to 600. There are only 3 or 4 people at the table at the time, and I'm the only one that called that, so we are heads up to the flop. And the flop is the 10 of Hearts, the 9 of Spades, and the Queen of Hearts. I check, and he throws at a bet of 1,600. Obviously, with a straight draw there, I'm not going anywhere. So I decide to call the 1,600, and the turn is the 4 of Clubs. Doesn't help me any, so I decide to go ahead and check it again. And he checks, and the river is the Jack of Clubs now, so I have the middle pair there, and I throw out a bet of 800, and he just folds it, and we take down that pot. Level blinds are 200, 300 with a 300 big blind ante. I have the Jack of Clubs, the 7 of Clubs. I am in a small blind. I decide to call, and we go 4 ways to the flop. The flop comes out the 10 of Clubs, the Jack of Hearts, and the 4 of Clubs. I throw out a bet of 900. The middle position decides to throw in a decent sized raise to 3,000. There's 1 fold and 1 more call, and I think for a minute or so and decide to call. So we are 3 ways to the turn. The turn is the 2 of Clubs. Now, I'm the first to act after that, and I decide to go ahead and check my option. The middle position goes all in for 3,100 effective, and obviously I'm not going anywhere with the flush, Jack high flush. I throw in my chips, and the river is the 8 of Hearts, which doesn't help him. He shows the Jack of Clubs and the 10 of Diamonds, and we take down this pot and the $25 bounty that went with the tournament. And what would be the last hand of the satellite? I have the 6 of Diamonds, the 6 of Spades. I'm in the big blind. It's a couple levels later, and blinds are 1,000, 1,500, 1,500. The under the gun raises to 4,000. I call, and we go 3 ways to the flop, I believe. And the flop comes out the 5 of Clubs, the Queen of Spades, and the 2 of Diamonds. Now, it checks all the way to the turn, believe it or not. The turn is the 4 of Clubs. I decided to just throw it all in there for about $6,000 effective. And the one guy folds, and the under the gun calls, and he shows the 10 of clubs and the 10 of diamonds. And we definitely need some help, and we don't get it. And the river is the king of diamonds, and we are out of the tournament. All the degenerates right here. And this one here, we got lots of degenerates here. We're going to go to the Orchid Lounge and play some slots. And then we're going to degen late reg for the 7:15. Not really, we're going to be on time. Here we go, let's go win some money on the slot machines. Okay, first hand of the $160 double green chip bounty. I have the ace of hearts, the 4 of spades. I'm in the small blind. Blinds are 100, 200, 200. I limp in for 200, and believe it or not, we just go heads up to the flop, and the flop comes out the jack of diamonds, the 2 of diamonds, and the 3 of hearts. I check, and he checks also, so it checks to the turn. The turn is the ace of diamonds. Now, this time I'm not going to check it. I feel like I'm pretty good, so I throw out a bet of 400. He actually calls pretty quickly, and the river is the 8 of spades. This time I throw out a bet of $600, and he just folds it, and we take down the first pot we get into. Okay, one level later, I have the 9 of spades, the 9 of hearts. I'm in middle position. Blinds are 200, 400. And I just limp in for the 400, and we go 4 ways to the flop. The flop is the 10 of clubs, the queen of hearts, and the 4 of hearts. It checks to the small blind, who throws out a bet of 1100. The under the gun folds, and with a pretty decent pair, I'm not going anywhere. So we're heads up to the turn. The turn is a beautiful card. It's the 9 of clubs, giving me a set of 9s now. I check, and he throws out a bet of 2,500. I decided to check because I wanted to induce his bet. He'd been playing aggressive, so obviously I call the 2,500, and the river is the ace of spades. This time I'm not checking. I throw out a bet of 3,500. And he hems and haws, looks at me for about 10-15 seconds, but decides to call, and I flip over my hand, and once he sees what I have, he just mucks his cards face down. Okay, the end of the same level. I'm under the gun. Blinds are still 200, 400, 400. I have the queen of diamonds and the queen of hearts. I decide to raise it up to 1,200 right off the bat, and the big blind folds, and only the middle position calls. So we're heads up to the flop, which is the jack of spades, the 7 of spades, and the 9 of diamonds. I check, and he throws out a bet of 1,500. With top pair right now, I'm not going anywhere, and I call. The turn is the 5 of diamonds now. I throw out a bet of 2,500 after looking at my cards. He calls, and the river is the 10 of hearts. For some reason, I decided to check it, and he actually just checks it also, so we check down, and he shows the Jack of clubs and the Queen of spades, and we take down that pot. Not too bad. Okay, level 3 or 4 now. Blinds are 300, 500 with the 500 big blind ante. The middle position calls the 500, and I call the 500. And the guy to my left, who is not quite short stacked, but he's got a shorter stack, decides to rip it all in there for 8,900. The middle position folds, and I tank for a second or so, start throwing out the chips, and I say I call. And he shows the Queen of diamonds, the Ace of diamonds, and the board runs out the 10 of hearts, the 4 of clubs, the King of hearts, the 8 of diamonds, and the 9 of diamonds. We take it down with kings, and he's gone, and we get the $50 bounty, which is pretty good. After being card dead for a level or two and punting off some chips, I have the Queen of diamonds, the Jack of diamonds. I'm in the big blind. Blinds are now 400, 800 with an 800 big blind ante. The under the gun raises it to 2,000. The small blind calls, and not quite being short stacked, but decently short stacked, I decide to rip it all in there for about 65 or 7,500 effective. The small blind calls and shows the King of hearts, the King of spades. We need some help. The board runs out the Jack of hearts, the 10 of diamonds, the 6 of spades, the 9 of hearts, and the 4 of clubs. And unfortunately, we don't get any help, and we are out of the tournament. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how I did, what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. And don't forget, it doesn't matter how you're living your life, as long as you're living the felt life.